Hi, I'm Bishop Phil Ashe with another episode of Good Soil, Good News. And here we are in Tempe, Arizona at Living Faith Anglican Church with wonderful folks, lay leaders, Father Peter, who's the rector, Deacon Bob, who's helping out. And just wanted to ask you, begin with our children's minister, Cindy Frost. Tell us about the exciting things that you're seeing in the children's ministry.
I'm very excited about the scope of ages of the children that we have at both services. We offer family services to children 2 and under, and we go all the way up to grade 5.
Wow.
And it's pretty evenly divided for the first time ever.
Wow.
So it's wonderful. And the children's team leaders are committed and faithful and good. It's good.
Wow. Well, so you have 2 services on Sunday morning, and what's average? Over 200.
230 is our average right now.
230. How do you do pastoral care with that many people?
We have an incredibly gifted pastoral care team of 9 people, and our leader, our mentor, Father Bob Faby. They're really gifted. They have wonderful backgrounds in chaplaincy and healthcare and just looking after people, and we make sure we keep connected with everybody.
And I hear you were doing clinical pastoral education. I mean, that's really a step above just volunteering.
Yes, and I have probably about 20 years experience in the prison Department of Correction and the county in terms of chaplaincy as well.
Wonderful. And now, there's Sundays with all the people coming, but how do you kind of keep the community life going in small groups? And I know, Karen, you have some thoughts about that, what you all are doing.
Yeah, it's really wonderful to have the connection in homes, and we've had small groups that are focused on community, and this year we're really expanding more into other kinds of groups, and that's really exciting. But we've found with our small group just how much it helps people feel connected to the church by having deeper relationships with each other.
And these are groups that are meeting on a regular weekly basis?
Weekly basis.
Now I know, Deacon Robert, you had a big part in helping to organize this, and are you finding that by having not just sort of one type of group that actually you're able to have more groups?
Yeah, well, what we noticed was these were groups that were organically developing. We just saw the Spirit really at work in the lives of the people of our church, where they were coming and saying, we see this need in our community, we see this need in our congregation. And so it was just recognizing how the Lord was already at work in the people of Living Faith to create community groups with this focus on fellowship and prayer and building community, but also formation groups, really seeing people developed and grow in their knowledge of the Word so they can love God and love neighbor. And then also mission groups where they are committed to engaging with our community with the love of Christ. And so it really was recognizing what the Lord was already doing in the lives of our people and trying to respond to that and support and encourage the laity of Living Faith and doing the work that God's called them to do.
That's wonderful. Tell me a little bit about the vestry. How's that for such a big church? How's that going?
Yeah, we're surely a multicultural congregation. The good leadership from the vestry and the strategic planning, making sure that all the, cultural groups are taken care of. And, with the planning from the vestry, you can see it reflect in the church. And, we're growing as a one strong community.
That's wonderful. The diversity here is amazing. I mean, I saw people from all different backgrounds and cultures and young and old alike. A lot of young families here. Eric, you've been kind of a senior diocesan leader on the search team and all of that. What brought you to Living Faith?
Gosh, we came a long time ago.
Yeah.
We came when it was still an Episcopal church that our former Bishop Keith Andrews planted.
Yeah.
And so we've really enjoyed being here. Cara and I have been here since it was founded. So it's been wonderful. I've been on the finance team for about 15 years, and we've seen great, God give a lot of provision for people. He's really blessed us greatly, and so it's a privilege to to model stewardship for people and encourage stewardship for people. And I think people are really growing. We've tried to integrate it with discipleship, and it's really bearing fruit.
That's wonderful. Well, I looked at the financials. I snuck a peek at the financials on the break. And yeah, it's amazing the way that your endowment funds and other funds have grown, and the number of people. What do you think discipleship has to do with that?
Yeah. We've had a variety of ways of discipling people over the last 7 years that I've been here. We've used small groups as an important vehicle for doing that, and that's going to pivot a little bit with our formation groups. We're going to have groups specifically designed to do discipleship related to spiritual formation. Now, community and mission are also aspects of discipleship, and so we expect those groups to be a part of that as well. But related to discipleship from me as the rector, I have had a variety of ways of integrating new people into the life of our church. We've more than doubled in size since I've been here. So most of that growth has come from people with no Anglican background at all, and some without a Christian background. So when new people are coming in, there's just basic discipleship, just what it means to follow Jesus with those who are new to the church or they're renewing their faith that maybe just was infantile for most of their life. But for the majority of folks, they're coming from a different kind of Christian tradition, and they need a great deal of discipleship into Anglican distinctives and some of the greater depth that we do in terms of theological and liturgical formation. So I have had, for the last 7 years, kind of sporadic and disintegrated ways of discipling people in those things, whether it's confirmation preparation or membership classes or kind of new to Anglicanism kinds of venues. I have, over the last year, developed a cohesive and integrated way of doing that I just launched this month, called Catechesis for the Christian Life. It's 6 courses that takes a person from conversion to leadership in the church, and that can apply to pretty much everyone, regardless of where they're at on that spectrum at this point in time. So 101 is following Jesus, 201 is receiving the sacraments, 301 is knowing and loving God, 401 is living a life of virtue, 501, which is the membership confirmation capstone, is committing to the church, the local church as well as the Anglican church and the Church Universal. And then the 6th course, 601, is leading well. So any of our lay leaders who will serve on vestry, serve as ministry directors, and some other pastoral care members will need to go through the 601, leading well.
And I've seen a little calendar the way you've sort of sequenced it, and so there's a real clear pathway to discipleship. You've got pastoral care, discipleship, children's ministries, small groups, and the church. I know one of the challenges we talked about before we started was you're about 80% at both services. You've got a lovely chapel overflow, but you're beginning to have to think about, well, would we have to do a third service, and how do we staff that? What are some other challenges that you're looking at? Just throw them out there.
I think bringing in the new people and integrating them more closely into the life of the church is really important.
Yeah, that's right.
It's great to see new people come in, and yet Phoenix is very transitory. So there's a lot of people that come, and there's a lot of people that go also.
I mean, one of the blessings, I certainly speak for Cindy. I mean, all the challenges of how to integrate children well as we're doing a lot of these activities it's a conversation that we've had many times as we're trying to integrate families, but also have children participating and being involved. Is a challenge that we work through.
Well, this is really exciting. Father Peter, how can we be praying as a diocese? It's for living faith.
It's good. We, as a church, I remember coming in 2017 and saying, growth is not my first priority. There were about 105 people at that time. Health was my first priority, so that if growth comes, if God gives growth, I want it to be healthy growth. So health was the first thing. I think as we've grown to the size where we've really pushed our facility to the limits, Living Faith has, in the last year, had to think long and hard about what it looks like to steward well what God has given. So we have dug deep related to church planting. We've dug deep related to another service, a third service. And we've also dug deep with strategic planning related to a new build, a new sanctuary. And all of those present their own challenges. but our vestry passed away, and to make discernments about, well, what is the best way forward? What is God's will for us? To build, just to have another service, to plant a church. And that is the conversation that's been going on among our vestry for over a year now, but with great specificity and intensity for the last year because of what we're seeing in terms of the maxing out of our space. So it is a very big prayer request for us to have a vision for how we steward the multiplication that God has given to us. And then that God provides what's necessary. Because all of those things have a financial cost as well as a human cost. And we need to be unified. And then I think it's my second ask for prayer is just unity among the body. In a diverse church, there are a variety of perspectives about things. And we do a good job loving each other well. We major on the majors here at Living Faith. And that makes it possible. But it doesn't always happen.
Yeah.
And sometimes there's disunity. And so how we manage that, and how do we know how do we know what's preferential and what's non-negotiable? And doing well with those things.
So folks, great lesson right here that health is what we aim for, not just numerical growth, and God gives the increase. And along the way, as you're thinking about these three options, plant, add another service, or build, we know the Lord is going to give them discernment as we pray for them, for the Lord to give them discernment and the resources to do exactly what he's going to need and want. And, gosh, he has done that, hasn't he? So we give thanks for Living Faith. God bless you.